This Rafale deal is just so crazy, isn't it? I'll tell you why it's so crazy. You'll also see why the current Rafale deal is such a different beast compared to the previous one. The reason why it's crazy is that, let's say, we'll probably have a comparison. Let's say you have a birthday party for your kid, right? It's his first birthday, and then when all these people come to wish the kid, everybody who comes for this birthday party, you want to present them with a gift. So you call up your secretary and you ask him, can you just finalize something from Sri Mitai? So I like some a good milk sweet, rasmalai, probably a nice pack with my kid's face on top of it, and then the sweet with silver foil and all that. And he says, that particular box is going to cost him like 20 rupees, and then the sweet is like 100 rupees. So the totally it's going to cost you 120 bucks is what your secretary comes and says, right? Um, so what happens is that time passes and then he goes away and then there's a new secretary and then you tell this person, hey, he's just a week away or so, why don't you go and finalize the deal? I'm not very sure where that quotation is and all that. And this secretary goes in, he comes back and says, I finalized this deal. The same thing, right? A box with the kid's photo on top and rasmalai with silver foil and all of that. That the box is going to cost you about 15 rupees, and then with the rasmalai and all that, it's rasmalai. It's about 50 rupees, and then the whole thing is about 65 rupees. So in reality, it's come down from 120 to 65 rupees, right? But then let's say the secretary who probably got fired or went out comes back to you and says, you know what, this guy is making, he's a corrupt guy, this new secretary, he's actually swindling you. What, the deal I struck for 20 rupees, he's going and making it for 65 rupees. What would you do? Wouldn't you take a big stick and wallop this guy? I mean, is there any comparison between empty box versus the box filled with sweets? Can you just compare these two? That's exactly what's happening with Rafale today, and that's why it's so fucking crazy to see all the press reporting it and people saying that there could have been corruption and all that. You know, so let's look at some costs involved, right? I'm sure you are aware of it. Even if you look at the 2012 offer, yeah, essentially it was like 538 crores with a late with the cost escalation clause. As time progresses, the cost escalates. So by the time it's May 2015, you're looking about 737 crores. But in 2016, the deal was struck for 600 odd crores, right? Okay, almost saving over 67 crores per empty plane, right? So it's just empty plane, just a plane. You can take that plane, fly over to China, and then when he strikes you with a missile, yeah, you can crash and die. The next thing is about the fully loaded plane. So previously, with cost escalation, probably around 2015, it could have, it would have worked out to about 2,000 crores per fully loaded plane. Whereas the current deal of 58,000 crores of 36 Rafale aircraft works at about 1,600 crores per aircraft, which is a saving of 400 crores, right? So it's really a good competitive deal, right? So you're saving 400 crores per aircraft. Not only that, there's an additional thing to it, which makes it this deal lot more sweet, and that's something we need to understand. Previous Rafale aircraft that we had was essentially about bombs, and you need to go and then into the enemy territory and then drop those bombs and kind of come back. Whereas here, with the addition of the Meteor air-to-air missile with a range of 100 kilometers, and then you have the Scalp Shadow Storm missile with a range of 300 kilometers, which is an air-to-surface missile. We're talking of beyond visual range capability and the ability to for the fighter jet to kind of stay within our space or just about enter the enemy territory and fire it and turn back, which adds a whole big amount of beyond visual range capability to the whole aircraft. So it's not only is there's a deal cheaper by 400 crores per aircraft, the aircraft by itself is a lot more potent and much better aircraft, and that's something we need to understand. So all in all, it's such a wonderful deal that it's hard to understand how anybody could complain or even anybody could think there has been a corruption or we've been taken for a ride and so forth. And then this Ambani thing, I mean, in 2012 it was Mukesh Ambani, now it's Anil Ambani. I mean, if Anil Ambani is a corporate guy, so is Mukesh Ambani. I mean, so to say that this current government is also getting the Ambanis in is just a blatant lie because that in 2012 Reliance was which had a memorable understanding with Dassault and it was Mukesh Ambani. So whether it's this Ambani and that Ambani, ultimately there's a corporate work there, and there's no harm in having private investments in the defense sector, right? So that's essentially what it is. So it's just an insensible, stupid thing. I think the the overall approach is that people just want to throw some shit, that there's this towering light somewhere, and then from down here, yeah, I'm going to cover you with shit. So he keeps on throwing the shit. What people don't understand is that that shit is not going to hit the light, just going to land on your fucking face.